I'm fired up about this weekend. So are the guys. The Lamar Hunt Trophy and a trip to San Francisco is on the line. Manning Brady 17. Antonio Pierce joins us now. Antonio, let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Who is going to advance to the Super Bowl and why?
Well, I think we all sit there and a couple weeks ago not knowing if Peyton Manning would come back for the playoffs, what this Denver team would look like. And I think even with Peyton Manning back, we now understand who they are and who they should have been from the jump. A running football team with C.J. Anderson, Ronnie Hillman running the football, Peyton Manning taking a step back now, not being the guy in the front seat driving the ship, letting somebody else do it. But with all that said, it's just hard for me to say that Bill Belichick is not going to take away the one factor that he knows controls his game, and that's the running game. And seeing him load up the box with 8 guys, put his corners out there on the island, and say, Peyton Manning, beat us throwing the ball 30 or 40 times with your arm. Let me see it. I don't see that happening consistently throughout the game. And more importantly, just watching Tom Brady, Amendola back last week, the amount of targets that he had, 16 in one game, that lets you know that it doesn't matter what scheme you think they're going to run this week or who they're going to feature, they're going to change it up. And there's going to be something different in this game that we're not going to expect, and the Patriots are going to do whatever they want to do to win this ball game. And it could be running the football out the gate, or it could be throwing the ball 50 times and barely running. But I got the Pats in this one.
Big, medium, close?
I give them 10 points plus.
Okay.
It's medium.
Wow.
No, that's
All right.
It's like almost a medium.
Yeah.
All right.
Stephen A.
Skip Bayless, Antonio, good to see you, bro, by the way.
Yes,
Let me say this. We brought up the fact that the New England Patriots are going up against pretty much the #1 defense. #1 in yards allowed, #1 against the pass, #3 against the rush. Didn't you bring that up, Skip?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots have been in this situation before when they won up against the #1 ranked defense in the postseason. They're 3-0 against that team. We talked about how Tom Brady's not going to have a running game, and as a result, you can expect him to throw 75 to 75 to 80% of the time. When Tom Brady and the Patriots have thrown over 80% of their time this season, what is their record? They're 6-1. The rest of the league, when they've done that, they're 6-137. When you think about what New England needs to do in order to win this game, understanding that the New England Patriots this year are undefeated when Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Julian Edelman are on the field at the same time, and that they're scheduled to be that way this coming Sunday, I have to go with the Patriots because I think that they're in a position to do what they do, and we're trying to discover what Denver's going to be able to do. Before Peyton Manning sat out, he had thrown nine touchdowns and 17 interceptions, got benched against Kansas City after throwing 4 INTs. We know that he was not healthy. We know that it took him weeks to get back. A matter of fact, Skip, I'm willing to tell you this. Even though I think Denver's fully capable of winning this game, I think that at some point in time, you're going to have to throw outside the numbers. And I don't know how Peyton Manning's health is going to be for the duration of the game. The only shot, as close as it's going to be, and as much of a nail biter that I believe is going to come down to, the only shot I personally give the Denver Broncos for winning this game is if Brock Osweiler ends up coming into the game. Because I think New England is prepping for Peyton Manning and prepping for what he's going to bring to the table. And I think at some point in time, whether due to injury or whatever, if Brock Osweiler finds himself in the game all of a sudden, I think that might throw New England off a little bit because of his ability to throw outside the numbers. It won't happen. You don't start him. You don't bench Peyton Manning or anything like that. I'm saying I believe Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going to be prepared for Peyton Manning. I think that they're prepping this week fully loaded and aimed in the direction of neutralizing Peyton Manning. I think anything that causes any kind of hiccup in that regard can throw them off a little bit. But that's the only thing.
So, Stephen A., allow me to ask you, would you suggest that you would give Denver a better shot if Brock Osweiler did start and play the whole game?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm talking
as a
about
change
New
up
England
to
prepping a change up and throwing everything off at the last minute. I'm saying something like that is what I think it will require.
Okay. I'm going to bring it back to our man Antonio here, because I've been going back and forth with this man for about 4 days about this.
I'm tired of him, huh?
Yes.
He's over him.
Yeah, I'm over him. Just so you
bet
get
over
this.
you.
Yeah, thank you. I love you, man. Okay, I picked New England in August to win it all. But as I told him to start this show, if I didn't love Brady so much, and my pride went on the line with this pick, and he was all over me about this, in a vacuum, I would pick Denver to win this game because of the everybody says syndrome, where when everybody says it's going to be this outcome, and I find nobody at ESPN that I know of who's picking the home team, a home underdog that has a lot of pride and a quarterback who, even though Steve Young said on 6 o'clock Sports Center, he's half of what he used to be. Boy, that's a lot now, half. Even though the guy I saw last Sunday, he threw for 222 with however many drops it officially was, 7 or whatever. He could have had 300 yards passing against Pittsburgh, albeit against Pittsburgh, but he didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't fumble. He threw one ball on 3rd and 12 from his 23 in the fourth quarter that changed the football game. And I got to tell you, it had a little hot sauce on it, just a little bit. It looked pretty good to me. He never did have a cannon. We all know that. But I thought that throw was pretty good. So my point is, you're telling this team at home that you're a 3-point underdog to a team that's coming in with what I think is, by New England standards, just kind of a mediocre defense. It's a little above average, but I ran off the numbers for Stephen A. Down the stretch in the game at Denver, they gave up 433 yards, 428 at the Jets, 438 at Miami, 378 to Alex Smith last week at home. Again, they bend and bend and bend, but they don't break all that much. But they're going to bend a lot because they're just pretty good. That's all they are. And they have an extraordinary coach and mastermind calling their plays and plugging in the cogs. Okay, so now this same defense, I didn't bring this up to start the show. The 2 best players on this defense did not finish the Kansas City game. And because we never know about the New England Patriots and their injuries, we don't know until you see them come onto the field or not come onto the field.
Active, who's not.
That's right. Chandler Jones, their best pass rusher, did not finish the game against Kansas City. Jamie Collins, who's their best do-it-all player, as you well know, he can rush the passer, he can cover like crazy, he's the best athlete on the defense, did not finish the game. Are they going to play? I don't know. I have no idea. Gerard Mayo did not finish the game and has been ruled out. He's on IR. So that's not a huge loss, but it's a loss. So that unit is going up on the road at a place where its quarterback, Tom Brady, has had house of horrors, man. Nothing but demons. His 2 playoff games were disasters there by his standards. He lost both of them. So he's got to have a few demons in his head, just a few. If it gets off to a bad start, he'll say, here I go again in this place. What is it about this place? So he doesn't have a running game because they don't really need a running game, but his offensive line has been patchwork all year against the #1 sack team in the NFL, coming at you from both edges. Really? So is it a done deal? Like you say, 10+ points. Man, it just comes down to Brady or bust to me. You're saying Tom Brady is that much better than Peyton Manning, right?
What about the psychological advantage the Patriots have over Peyton Manning?
Okay.
This is my demon.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
This is a team when you look at his playoff statistics against the Patriots, it's not overwhelming like everybody else.
It's not.
So
I agree.
I totally agree with you with what you're saying and the points. And Brady, them guys should be worried. He hasn't played well in Denver, but at the end of the day, you got a quarterback who's on his last trail. And how much emphasis and how much does he put into this game? Which you all should, right? You put everything into it, but
Sure.
Also in the back of his head, man, what is that Belichick thinking about? What is he drawing up that I haven't seen? Because there's going to be something in that game, offense or defense, especially on the defensive side, that we haven't seen. Trapping, you know what I mean? Maybe trapping outs, jumping the quick outs. I don't know what it may be. Maybe playing men. Who knows? Give them a whole different coverage than they played last week against KC. That might have the advantage that the Patriots need to win this game in Denver.
AP, quick question. What do you think, because so much is made about the football intellect of Peyton Manning, how do you think that matches up against Bill Belichick?
Well, that's his kryptonite. Bill Belichick is his kryptonite.
Who's kryptonite?
Peyton Manning's.
Belichick is Peyton Manning's kryptonite.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
He does it. He does it. He does it every year. Every time they face up, every time they match up, something new, something he says, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
And Denver has been Brady's kryptonite. I mean, it just has.
So some quarterbacks going to fail. So
somebody's going to fail.
We need special teams or a running back to step up.
You may be right.
There's certainly a team that can beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We know about that, right, Antonio?
Go to the
All right.
Oh, you had to bring that up.
Whatever. You bring things up all
Thanks
the time.
to the luckiest play in Super Bowl history, but I
Enough.
won't go there.
We have to go to break. We have another game to pick. Antonio staying.